Hey you guys! So as you guys picked up, my stream cut off. So let me try to remember where I got off of in terms of my stream. Okay, so if you guys look at something like this, pre-packaged snacks, way to go. Okay, simple, straightforward, and just remember, right? Don't get into a competition with other people about gifts because let's say you say, okay, this holiday season I need to spend $300 or $600 on my significant other. And so you guys both have like the same amount of gifts. The people who are going to be losing in this whole gift giving competition is going to be you and the person who you're competing with in terms of giving gifts because you're going to both be out money for the sake of holiday season. I think that really for consumerism and holidays, the biggest winners of the holiday season are truly the retailers. So don't forget that, okay? It's not about the amount of money that you spend on the gifts. It's about the feelings that you have for the person that you're giving it to them, the thoughtfulness as well. I've gotten expensive gifts in the past, and I've got cheap gifts as well. I've got homemade gifts. And for me personally, a gift that I can tell had a lot of thought behind it impresses me a lot more than, oh, I'm going to buy you a handbag just for the sake of having a handbag. It's like, okay, I didn't know what kind of handbag you liked, but this was kind of pricey, so I got it for you kind of thing. And, it's just like that kind of stuff. And I look at it, I'm like, this isn't even my style. And although I appreciate the gesture of giving me a gift because it's holiday season, it's like at the end of it, I had to march over to the store and return it. And then I ended up with a gift card because I knew I would not use that handbag. Okay, so let's go back to what I was saying over here. So when you guys look at this kind of stuff, right? I feel that we just have a lot of crap accumulating because of the holiday season. The best way to avoid it is, again, just have consumables. Don't be buying stuff that you can't eat. Don't buy stuff that you can't really use. Like, people have a lot of handbags. Okay, so I wanted to talk about my new love, and it's about Ming Dynasty and Qing Dynasty stuff. Now, how does this relate? You guys will see. So Ming Dynasty, you can see it's 1368 to 1644, so that's about 700 years ago, right? 700 years ago. And then the Qing Dynasty was 400 years ago to about 100 years ago. Yeah, a little over like 110 years ago. These were very big dynasties. And the thing that I loved about this stuff is, as you guys know, right, I'm a big fan of vintage Chinese stuff now, vintage Asian pottery. I think it's very beautiful. And what I realized is that, like, for the ancient Chinese, they didn't have clutter. Look at this. So this is an ancient Chinese home. And I'm showing you guys this because I want you guys to see, like, hey, this is how people used to live before. And when you see things like this, you just see, like, okay, you see the furniture, you see the basic stuff. What do you have? You have some wall scrolls over here. You guys know wall scrolls, you can roll them up. They don't take up much space, right? You got some tables over here. You got some chairs over here. All the stuff that's made inside of this room, it's all durable. So when you look at this kind of stuff, like Forbidden City stuff, I wanted to show you guys. Look, this is for, I think it's called Xining Palace in the Forbidden City. Forbidden City is where the Chinese emperor used to live, as well as his wife, the empress, the concubines, his harem, his servants. And this room is where the emperor's mother lived. Now, when you look at the design aesthetics, what do you guys see? You see a table, you see two vases. Notice their symmetry. It's the same vase, but it's one on the left side, one on the right side, and then one lantern, I guess, in the middle. Then you got a chair, you got, I think, an incense burner, you got a pot, and then you got a bed. It's very sparsely decorated, but it's so beautiful because each piece by itself, when it comes down to like the furniture, the rug, the pottery, you can tell it's like a high quality item. Okay, remember that. Okay, in this case, less is more, and when you have a quality item, it really truly stands out. So when you look at something like this, historical dramas, Chinese historical dramas, you can look at how the room is made. Do you see any flashy stuff? No. But what you see is you see a lot of like workmanship. You see these ornate designs on the furniture pieces itself. And because the furniture is so beautiful, you don't really see too much paintings around. Yeah, you see wall scrolls with like Chinese characters, but you don't see like, or you see this one, you see this wall scroll on the, between the bed and between that the right rectangle. You see that wall scroll over there? The great thing about the wall scroll is that, let's say you get bored of this picture, right? You roll it back up and then you switch it with another one. It's very portable. You don't have these big bulky frames. And I think the wall scroll is really a brilliant idea. Keep in mind, this stuff is what, hundreds of years ago, and I'm only finding out about this now, or thinking about it in 2021. So here's some backstory about Qing Dynasty furniture over here. And then they talk about the design, they talk about the aesthetics, and this furniture, Ming Dynasty and Qing Dynasty furniture, one thing that's really cool about it is they don't have any nails. Yes, there's no nails. You can see that there's obviously a lot of workmanship over here. The wood is high quality. See the details over here. This is not IKEA furniture. This is furniture that is built to last. And some of the furniture pieces that you will see in the antiques market, it'll be like 1800s, 1600s, and people can still sit on them if they really want to. Because they were, they're quality pieces. It's not IKEA furniture where you spill a little water on it and the compressed wood it just looks like wonky. So this kind of furniture, right, it can be passed on from generation to generation. I wanted to show you guys the styling over here. I remember how I was talking to you about symmetry in the last one. Look, you got these two planters, one on the left, one on the right, same plant, same kind of stand, right? It's either a plant stand or a vase stand. In the middle of that, we got one long table. Surprise, surprise, we got two vases, one on the left, one on the right, and something in the middle. And then you got this this table in front and then a chair. But see the symmetry, right, left, same thing. Remember that, okay? Because this is very important in terms of design aesthetics. It's simple, it's straightforward, but it works. So this whole room over here, again, we have chairs that all look the same. You can see the tall back chairs, they're all the same. And then you got the table with the matching two stools over here. This is not mismatched stuff. This is like furniture set kind of thing. And when you have pieces like that, it just works, like look at the background on this image, right? I don't know if this is a showroom or what, but all the pieces on the back table, that all matches on the left side, on the right side. And then when you have things that kind of flow together, it looks a lot more curated and calming versus mismatched stuff. So let's look at Ming Dynasty over here. This is from Christie's. And you can buy cheaper alternatives. Like, you don't have to buy stuff that is antique. There's a lot of antique inspired. However, one of my things that I want before I pass away is I really want to have like an antique, vintage, authenticated, something from the Ming or Qing Dynasty, like 100% authenticated. And I think that's very durable. The pieces aren't that expensive. Some of the chairs you can buy for a couple $100. Some chairs are like $2,000, $3,000. But if you have like what I consider to be a true vintage, some piece that you look at it and it goes back 200 years, it's a piece that you'll take care of. It's not like a piece you'll look at it and you'll be like, it's like a $10 chair from Walmart or something. See, so these pieces, when you look at it, you can see craftsmanship, quality, and you're going to take care of it. You are not going to be haphazard with this chair. It's just like you'll see it and it'll just be so beautiful that you think to yourself, okay, this chair's lasted 200 years or so. I'm going to make sure that I don't, of course, like throw it on the ground or anything like that. So this was, the Ming Dynasty was seen as the golden age of furniture over here, right? So they say that the pieces have purpose and clean lines over here, right? So you can see how aesthetic the curve is. I really want to have a horseshoe. This is a horseshoe back armchair. I think it's quite beautiful. And see? So this was made for scholars and the elite. And then they also were very choosy about their wood. I guess the sought after wood was called Huang Li. I'm probably butchering it, right? But they're not picking any kind of wood. It's like everything has intention, everything has attention to detail. So it's not like mass produced stuff that you guys see now. And that's the big difference about this stuff. See? They're talking about this. No nails were used. Instead, they look for pressure points. How many people can you say have chairs where there wasn't any nails produced? It was just beautiful together. Or no screws in there. So they talk about the aesthetics being calming. The lines are continuous. So that it's a beautiful shape. It's a really gorgeous shape. And then they talk about how 400 years later, these chairs are still around. See? So some of these pieces can be expensive, but some of the pieces not so much. There is websites online that sell things, like First Dibs, for instance, and I'm just sharing that with you guys. So let's talk about little attention to detail, right? Let's say you get a vase. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If you have an antique Chinese vase, please, please, please get a stand for it, because you will see, let's say these vases, for instance, right? If you have it on a wooden base, it makes it pop so much more. So you got these little wood stone kind of stands over here. See this? It makes it look a lot better than just sitting it on a crappy table kind of thing. See? Your eye will look at this and say like, ooh, let's see what's on top of it. Oh, it's a beautiful vase. It's like, it just like adds like the cherry on top. Let's see over here. See this? This large vase, and then you got the wooden stand over here. Let's see over here. I think these vases are a little small, but you guys get what I'm trying to get at. Like when you go to a museum, you'll notice that some of the pieces, they'll have their own stand. And it's because they want to say, hey, look at this piece. This piece is gorgeous. And when you have a not cluttered area, your eye will look at the vase. I think you guys get what I'm trying to say, right? Vase stands are very important, or some kind of good display shelving. And let's check this out. So this is the Forbidden City. I really would recommend looking at pictures of it, because these people lived hundreds of years ago, and you'll notice clearly they don't have clutter. So, right, this is a home from 1902 to 1906. Notice the ornate wood over here, right? Notice that you have the vases. Remember the symmetry? Look at that mantle, what looks like to be the fireplace. You got two vases of the similar size plus a taller vase, and then in the middle is like two short stout vases. Symmetry, symmetry, symmetry. So remember, if you can get two vases, two of the same vases, get two of the same vases, one left, one right. So this looks so put together. It's not cluttered. The pieces really stand out by themselves. And if you look at each piece, you'll see quality, quality, quality. This is something that I don't see in a lot of modern furniture pieces. And I can, like I've seen furniture at Ross, I've seen furniture at garage sales. A lot of the stuff is just blasé. Now, I did want to show you this treasure room.